Hello everyone, this is R.Sudhakar Reddy, Assistant Professor, Department of Mining Engineering, Aditya University. And today is actually last topic of coal mines regulations. Before this class, we have covered 5 topics related to the coal mines regulations. This is the 6th topics, and we are going to cover topics like HEMM, heavy earth moving machinery, fences, where the fences are laid, and next related regulations which are covered in the coal mines. So this is the outcome regarding after the completion of this class, students are able to know about fences as well as heavy earth moving machinery, whatever the things related to that one which are incorporated in the coal mines regulation. And coming to HEMM, that is heavy earth moving machinery, every shovel, so these are all embodiment or a subset of HEMM, shovel, drag line, dozer, surface miner shall be so designed so as to afford the operator clear and uninterrupted vision all round. So whenever operator is driving shovel or drag line or dozer or surface miner, it should be designed that he should have a clear visibility. That is one of the important thing. And every HEMM including trucks, tippers, so these are also part of HEMM used in the mine shall be fitted with such safety features or devices as Chief Inspector may from time to time specify by general order in ordering. So sometimes DGMS, that is Chief Inspector of the Mines, he can specify some safety features need to be attached to this all HEMM. Then in such cases, all the whatever the said in the bylaws, so generally that safety features will be covered in the bylaws, then it should be incorporated in the HEMM. Trucks mounted drill machines. So truck mounted drill machines. So there are mounting is different types. Sometimes tire mounted, sometimes corral mounted, sometimes truck mounted drill machines designed for tube well drilling for sources of water shall not be used, and only proper type of blast hole drill machines. For example, here we need holes drilled for the purpose of blasting only. So if the drill machine is not available, we should not use tube wells, so which are used for water purpose. So such type of machines should not be used in the mines. And for heavy earth moving machinery shall be under the charge of competent person authorized in writing by the manager, herein called operator. So whoever, not only heavy earth moving machine, any machinery or any method of working, it should be under the control of competent person who is authorized in writing by the manager. Here in this case, this competent person is called operator or driver. All persons employed or to be operate heavy earth moving machinery shall be trained under the competency and shall be evaluated as a board constituted by the management, and who shall be persons who are not connected with imparting of training. So whoever comes as an operator or comes as a driver of HEMM, he should be properly trained and should have full of competency which is evaluated at the board. So no unskilled person cannot go and act as an operator. That is the meaning of this topic. And only such fitters or mechanics possessing drivers or operators license shall be allowed to carry out test run of earth. So only such personnel as prescribed by the Chief Inspector of the Mines can test run the HEMM. No person other than the operator or manager, any person so as authorized in writing by the man, shall be allowed to ride. So if we test ride or some ride, whatever the ride, so it should be the competent authority, it should be appointed in writing by the manager only. No unauthorized person should test drive it. And coming to the drill machines, so far we have covered something related to the HEMM, that is heavy earth moving machinery. The drill machine and each of its accessories shall, as far as practicable, be of non-inflammable material. So the drill machine should be made by such parts which are non-inflammable, and any inflammable material, if used, shall be shrouded with substantial metallic covering to render its non-inflammability. If suppose some part is flammable, some part of drill machine is flammable, then it needs shrouding with some metallic material. Drill machine shall be provided with an efficient headlight capable of showing any obstruction in the workplace ahead. So this is mandatory if you want to run, actually this is as per regulation, but if you want to run in the night shift, it should be provided with efficient headlight, because lighting is one of the important aspect of mining. If any miner, if he works in insufficient lighting for prolonged period, he can be infected with nystagmus. So for that, so an efficient headlight capable of showing any obstruction in the workplace is needed. An efficient portable fire extinguisher so placed as to within the reach of operator, also within an automatic type of fire detection and suppression system. So, fire extinguisher of such type is required to extinguish flames. Actually, this is not specified because some fire extinguishers extinguish only solid fires, some are suitable for liquid fires, some are suitable for electric fires. Now, here automatic fire extinguisher which is able to detect and suppress system. So, there will be some sensor so that any overheating happens, it will start working. So, such type of fire extinguisher should be kept in the drill machine. And a seat for operator and a canopy overhead shall be provided to protect the operator from falling objects. So, this is common because sometimes there will be cabin, but if there is no cabin, then there will be canopy should be there to cover his head actually. So, in such cases, this driller can protect himself from any injury. So, this is some of them, but even though driller will wear helmet, shoes, all these things, still canopy is the important part of drill machine. And coming to some other topics related to drill machine, no drill machines shall be operated otherwise than by a competent person appointed in writing by the manager. So, once again, just like HMM also, here also no unauthorized person should ride the drill machine, provided that for repairs or tests in the drill machines can be operated by the competent person other than operator authorized in the order. So, for example, for some repairing purpose, only that also the registered persons who are designated by mines manager, they can only do some overhauling things. Drill machine shall not be used at any workplace where there is, after allowing for swing of the machine, clear space of not less than following, namely below the roof or its support 0.3 meters, on the sides 0.6 meters. These spaces, clear space should be kept available whenever you are running the drill machines. So, minimum of 0.3 meters against the roof, 0.6 meters against the sides. So, no person is allowed just in between the 0.6 meter. Suppose some person came, some mines manager came, he should not stay within the 0.6 meters. He has to be maintain such distance. That is the one of the important aspects, because again there are chances of injuries. Coming to other parts of the drill machine, while drill machine is in operation, no person other than the person authorized in the writing by the manager shall be allowed to stay on the machine or in the vicinity thereof. So, generally drill machines are provided with the driller as well as a helper. Helper is used to adjust the pipes, all these things, but no other person should come near to the drill machine or in the vicinity. That is the meaning of this point. Every workplace in which drill machine is used shall be placed under the charge of competent person or persons who shall once at least in every shift examine every such workplaces with particular regard to clearance, whether free from obstruction, the state of roof and sides, ventilation, general safety. So, whoever supervises the drill machine, he should check all these four things. Number one, clearances, just now I told, roof clearance is 0.3 meters, side clearance is 0.6 meters, and state of roof, how the roof is there, whether it is stable or not, and similarly sides, and similarly ventilation and general safety. These four things has to be taken care by the person who is supervising the work or who is supervising the drill machine. Coming to the fences, even as per regulations, coal mines regulations, there are some fences required at some places. So, which type of fences? This is generally one question MCQ, that is multiple choice questions, some generally asked in the FCC examination. So, this is generally asked not in the form of blanks, but it all be in the matching, that is matching, which fence for which purpose, like that. Every tank or reservoir, other dangerous place in or about a mine which has been formed as a result of or it is used in connection with the mining operation shall be kept securely fenced. So, from water body is there, any water body, any danger place in the mine which is not used should be securely fenced. Again, the type of fencing is specified, but here the table is not there. Okay. Every fence erected on the surface shall once at least in every 7 days be examined by the competent person, and a report of every such inspection shall be recorded in a bound page book kept for the purpose, duly signed and dated by the person who made this examination. Once again, generally there will be some competent person who takes care of these fences also. So, once in every 7 days he should check, and that checking or anything, if any deviation is there, he should record that in the bound page book kept for the purpose. Any fence, gate or barricade may be temporarily removed from the purpose of repairs or other operations if adequate precautions are taken. So, generally fences are, it may be permanent or it may be temporary. Suppose it has to be removed for some other work, then it needs adequate precautions. What are the precautions? If any doubt arises as to whether any fence, guard, barrier or gate provided under this regulation is adequate, proper or secure, as to whether the precautions taken under sub-regulation are adequate, it shall be referred to the sub-inspector, chief inspector for decision. Suppose the fence, it is not serving the purpose, then the matter should be communicated to the chief inspector, that is Director General Mine Safety. And regarding use, supply, maintenance of protective footwear. Protective footwear means helmet, shoes, self-rescuers, lot of things. No person shall go into or work or be allowed to go into or work in a mine unless he wears a protective footwear. So, this is one of such type as may be approved by the chief inspector. So, in any mine, the common items are required are protective footwear, helmet. These are the important things a miner has to take, whether it is open cast mine or underground mine, and the footwear or helmet, it should be approved by the chief inspector of the mines. The protective footwear referred to in sub-regulation 1 shall be supplied free of charge. So, whether it is a small company, big company, does not matter, they have to give almost free of charge at intervals not exceeding 6 months. So, this protective footwear, because sometimes they will get destroyed during rainy season because of all the wear and tear. So, they have to renew it every once in 6 months by the owner, agent or manager of the mine, who shall at all times maintain sufficient stock of protective footwear in order to ensure immediate supply as and when needed for same arises. So, it is the duty of mines manager, owner or agent to keep sufficient inventory of protective footwear, not only footwear, helmets, self-rescuers, all these things, because these are required. Suppose some inspector comes, he immediately wants protective footwear. So, in such cases, mine has to give protective footwear. So, for that purpose, a mines manager or agent or owner should maintain sufficient stock of protective footwear or protective helmets or self-rescuers. When a footwear is provided other than specified in this regulation, the supply shall be made or payment of full cost. Sometimes this is actually I never see, but in case the protective footwear of different type, then it should be of payment of full cost. The owner, agent, manager of a mine shall provide at suitable places in the mine dubbing and revolving brushes. So, to make other suitable alternative arrangements for cleaning of footwear. So, this is sometimes even I saw in the some big hotels, the dubbing arrangements. The dubbing arrangements means actually one machine will be rotating, you have to keep your shoe just behind it, so that machine will clean the shoe whenever anything is soiled or attached to the shoe. So, this type of arrangement sometimes has to be kept in every mine. And place of accident not to be disturbed. Actually, this is generally has to be followed. Whenever an accident occurs in or about a mine causing loss of life or serious bodily injury, this does not cover reportable bodily injury and minor injury. So, two types of injuries are covered for this case, that is place of accident not to be disturbed, that is fatal or serious bodily injury. The place of accident shall not be disturbed or altered before the arrival of or without the consent of chief inspector or inspector, whom the notice of accident is required to be given under subsection 1 of section 23 of Mines Act, unless such disturbance is alteration is necessary to prevent any further accident or to remove bodies of deceased or to rescue any persons from danger, unless discontinuance of the work at the place of accident would seriously impede the working. So, you should not disturb the place of accident, but when means it, if you does not disturb, it may lead to some other accidents, or you have to rescue the persons who are affected, or if you can prevent any danger. So, there are three cases: one, preventing accident or rescuing. So, these are the cases where the place of accident need to be disturbed. Even in such cases also, you need to take a clear photograph and evidences, you have to restore it, then only you have to disturb by taking permission from CIM, that is Chief Inspector of the Mines. Before the place of accident involving a fatal or serious accident is disturbed or altered due to any reason, just now I told there are reasons where we have to disturb the place of accident, whatsoever, a sketch of the site. So, these are the important thing. Illustrating accident and all relevant details shall be prepared in duplicate and such sketch shall be duly signed by the manager or assistant manager or safety officer, surveyor and workman inspector. Where there is no workman inspector, by a work person present at the place, so who is a witness, which shall be supported by the photographs. So, if you want to disturb the site before arrival of Chief Inspector of the Mines, a sketch along with the photographs, this sketch should contain sign of mines manager, safety officer, workman inspector. If workman inspector is not there, any person who is a witness. So, all these details, and the sketch should be in duplicate, not in original. So, 2 copies should be there. Okay. And last one, that is emergency response and evacuation plan. So, sometimes something happens, even in our house also, sometimes gas cylinder get bursted. So, what is the emergency plan or evacuation plan? The owner, agent, manager of every mine shall have a comprehensive program in place to respond to any injury. So, these are important, any illness or emergency that may occur at each mine, including foreseeable industrial and natural disasters, which shall include immediate first aid treatment, medical treatment, transportation, evacuation of the injured persons, procedures to respond to emergencies arise at the mine, and make up arrangements for rescue of the persons incapacitated or trapped in the coal mine. The plan referred to in sub-regulation 1 shall cover mine evacuation, shall include establishment of individual responsibilities for administering actions identified to implement an emergency response, establishment of emergency communication system, procedures, individual responsibilities. So, this is nothing but giving some responsibilities, actually disaster management, like that. Something happens, for example, outbreak of fire, outbreak of inrush of water, such thing happens, then there should be an emergency plan or evacuation plan. Immediately to evacuate all the employees, then there should be a person who will take that responsibility, and he should do all the things. Otherwise, somebody has to take something means it takes some time. So, we can avoid what you can say, we can rescue some people and that meantime. Okay. A system in place to provide immediate notification to all persons affected by the emergency, including alarms in place which shall be capable of being seen and carried. So, sometimes in many mines there will be a siren, so that if that siren rings, everyone should assume that some danger is there, you have to evacuate. So, for this mock drills are done, so that people will get awareness. A procedure to allow for the safe, orderly, immediate withdrawal of the person from the mine or area of the danger, including training or emergency escape routes and procedures. So, they should not rush, they should do it in the orderly manner. That is one of the important thing. Even evacuation needs, it should be done very systematically. And next, in place to be followed by the workers who remain or to perform critical operations before they evacuate, which include selection of only those personnel who have received special training, and critical operations and mine emergencies, including mine fires and explosions. Next, having procedures in place to ensure the locations that are safe for persons who would not be immediately withdrawn, having the personnel equipped with necessary gas detection systems, the other equipments or tools. So, these responsibility, I mean to say, who are given the responsibility to evacuate means such personnel or such team should have a special training. The special training includes, they should deal with mine fires, explosion, inrush of water, all these things. They should be properly trained, so that evacuation should be done properly. You should not give such responsibility to a new person who doesn't have proper knowledge. So an experienced and who is having a balanced mentality and who is having special training, all these things generally counts. And providing persons with particular risks with the equipment necessary for escape, such as self-contained, self-breathing devices. So, these are all the infrastructure need to be provided to such team. A response team that is trained and equipped, immediately available to respond to the fires. So, once again, firefighting team. Procedures to account for all workers after the emergency evacuation is completed, providing relevant information and training to all personnel at all levels, including regular exercises in emergency prevention, preparedness and response procedures, and periodic emergency drills, mock rehearsals. So, you need to do mock rehearsals, because suddenly something comes, you are not able to do, means again this is the lack of I mean to say communication or lack of training, these all accounts. So, the person who is vested this responsibility should maintain all these things. So, summary of today's lecture is we have to know about, that is, the students are able to know some regulations related to heavy earth moving machinery, similarly drill machines, fences, and regarding evacuation plan and protective footwear. Thank you.